Last class we were discussing about the working of single phase full converter with resistive load. So I have asked you to try the same single phase full converter with RL load. RL load you can draw in two different ways: RL continuous, and you can also draw RL value, RL load discontinuous. So continuous means the value of L is very high such that the inductor continues to conduct, or the inductor allows the conduction until the next trigger impulse arrives. The discontinuous conduction means the value of inductance L is very small, so before the next trigger impulse arrives the current decays to zero. That's the meaning of continuous and discontinuous. So you can also try this RL load with a freewheeling diode also, the combination of RL with the freewheeling, and draw the waveforms. So in this video I will be explaining the working of single phase full converter with RLE load. RLE load means a DC motor. So what will happen if a DC motor is connected to the output of a controlled rectifier? So first let me draw the circuit. So you have four thyristors T1, T2, T3 and T4. The load is a resistor, inductor and a battery RLE. So across this you will be getting the output voltage V0. Source voltage Vs is applied between these 2 points. This is A and this point is B. So I will mark the thyristors like T1, this is T1, this is T2 and this is T3 and this is T4. Okay, now we can draw the waveforms. So first we can draw the source voltage. With A is positive and B is negative, you get VAB. So this is VAB. Okay, with B is positive and A is negative, we can draw VBA, just in the opposite way. So this is VBA. Okay, so you can also mark these intervals. This is very important: pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, etc. And you can project that: pi, 2 pi, and this is 3 pi. Okay, since this is an RLE load, you should also draw the value of E. So assume that this is the battery voltage E. This much is the battery voltage E. So this is the source voltage I have drawn: VAB, VB and the battery voltage. Okay, so there are two modes of operation for this full converter with RLE load. One mode is alpha less than 90 degree, that is firing angle is less than 90 degree. Another is alpha greater than 90 degree. So first I will draw what will happen if alpha less than 90 degree. Okay, so you can select a firing angle less than 90 degree. So this is 90 degree actually, so less than 90 means I am going to start from here. This is starting interval. Okay, so here I will be triggering this T1 and T2. Here I will be triggering T3 and T4. This is T1 and T2, and T3 and T4. It goes on like that. So you can extend that also. Okay, so this point is actually alpha. This is pi. Okay, this is pi plus alpha. This is 2 pi. This is 2 pi plus alpha, like that. Okay, since this is an RLE load, it is easy to draw the value of current first. So first I am going to draw I0. So current start from here. This is a triggering angle alpha. So from alpha current rises, it reaches peak value between pi by 2 to pi. Okay, now after this, when the value of source voltage less than E, what happens to inductor? Inductor senses that the current is going to decrease, so inductor won't allow it. Inductor continues to conduct in the same direction by changing the polarity. That we have learned when we have learned the single phase half wave control rectifier with L load. That's the property of inductor. So what happens after this pi by 2 to pi reaches maximum value, thereafter current slowly decays and it holds that value until it reaches the next triggering pi plus alpha. At pi plus alpha, T3 and T4 has been fired, so current again increases its maximum, then decays, then the next trigger impulse T1 and T2 arise. So this is a steady state value of current. It goes on like that. So from the beginning also you can draw the steady state value. Actually it start from here, but if you in a wider picture, if you take the final steady state, you can draw the current as continuous. So this is the current shape. Okay, and you can mark the intervals from this alpha T1 T2 conducting. This is alpha and this is pi plus alpha. So from alpha to pi plus alpha, T1 T2 is conducting. From pi plus alpha to so this is T1 and T2. You cannot write here, and this is T3 and T4. This is T1 and T2. It goes on like that. Okay, now it's very easy to draw the output voltage once you know which are the devices which are conducting from alpha to beta or alpha to pi plus alpha. So when T1 and T2 are conducting, so this is a positive half cycle. So from A, T1 is conducting, then the load, and in the lower half this is T2 and this is B. So output voltage is equal to VAB in that interval. So whenever T1 T2 is conducting, you just copy. These are the intervals when T1 and T2 is conducting. So in that interval you just copy what is VAB. So this is VAB. You just copy that and draw here. Okay, when T3 and T4 is conducting, output voltage is how much? Output voltage is it from B, it start to T3, load T4, then back to A. Output voltage is VAB. So in that interval, what is VBA? Sorry, it's VBA. So in that interval, what is VBA? You just copy that VBA and draw here. Okay, so this is VAB and this is VBA, and you have to draw it. Okay, then we can also draw VT1 and VT2, VT1 or VT2 or VT3 or VT4 based on that. Now we can see that the output voltage goes negative for this much duration. Here also we can see that the output voltage goes this much negativity. So this voltage into this current, what happens to power? Power becomes negative. So power returning from source, from load back to source. So this is actually a drawback. So in order to avoid this negative going of this voltage, the voltage going to negative, so in order to avoid that negative portion, what you can do is you can do a freewheeling diode. You can connect a freewheeling diode here. So during this interval, after this E value, when the current starts to decrease, what will happen is that the load continues its conduction through the freewheeling diode. So in that case, output voltage is equal to 0. So output voltage remains 0 in that interval. It will not go negative. That you can easily save the negative going of power. Okay, that's one case. So if alpha less than 90 degree, the meaning is that the voltage goes for negative for a very small amount of time. From pi to pi plus alpha, it is going negative. And let's see what happens if alpha greater than 90 degree. Okay, so you have to draw the same graph with alpha greater than 90 degree. So I am going to draw here with alpha greater than 90 degree. So I am going to take, this is my alpha. Okay, T1 and T2 are conducting here, T3 and T4 are conducting here. So actually why I have drawn here is that it's very difficult to draw the waveforms once again, but when you draw in your notebook, you have to draw these two waveforms as two separate waveforms, alpha less than 90 and alpha greater than 90. Okay, so I am going to project this. So when you draw the current, it starts from here. Okay, somewhere it reaches peak value. Okay, and what happens until the next trigger impulse, it continues and it goes on like that. So this interval T1 and T2 is conducting, so here it is T3 and T4, it goes on like that. So when you draw the output voltage, what happens when T1 and T2 conducting, output voltage is equal to VAB. So in this interval, if you take VAB, what happens is that this is VAB, so we can plot it, draw it. You will get like this. Okay, so the conclusion is that for a greater duration of time the voltage goes negative. The current is positive, but for most of the time the voltage is going negative. Here also you will get like this, VBA also. Most of the time the voltage goes negative. So if you take the power, we can see that the power in this interval, whenever the value of voltage goes negative, power also goes negative. So here most of the time the power is negative, which means power is feeding back from load to source. Okay, so with a full converter with alpha greater than 90, if you operate with alpha greater than 90 degree, this power is flowing from load back to source. Okay, this operation of full converter is known as the inverter operation of the converter. Just inverter operation of converter. This is actually a converter circuit which convert AC to DC, but actually in reverse process is happening. The power is flowing from load back to source. This is the inverter operation. So with alpha greater than 90 degree, this full converter is generally known as line commutated inverter. Okay, so this is all about full converters. So one important thing is, first you need to learn how to draw the graph for alpha less than 90 degree. You draw the entire graph for all voltage, current and thyristor voltage. With alpha greater than 90 also you plot the same graph, then you will understand the difference. Okay, power is in one case the power is, most of the power is flowing from source to load. In the second case the reverse process is happening from load back to source. So that's why this operation greater than 90 is known as the line commutated inverter. Okay, and such operation is used in the regenerative braking mode of a DC motor.